It's a hard rock life.
Ow! And we're here with Rob Carroll of the Rocket Gods. That is a band you just heard. How's it going, Rob?
It's going all right. Who was that band? They were pretty fucking good.
They were pretty dope.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'll find out, though.
Yeah. Please do.
Salute, my friend.
Salute.
It's good to see your face.
Yeah, good to see you, man. Good to be seen.
Yeah.
Better to be seen than viewed.
And you get your sexy shades on.
I do. So this is Alex made this happen because I watched his episode with you guys and he made a crack about it. So it's to you, Alex.
Yeah, Alex.
And Pat did 2 episodes. Those are fascinating.
Episodes of what?
Of It's a Hard Rock Life.
Nice.
Yes.
He's talking about what we did with them.
Yeah.
Ah.
Man.
Hey.
Just trying to help you guys, yeah.
Hey, so you guys just wrapped up the summer series?
Yep.
Was that the last show of it?
Yes, it was. And I wish that... So the first show went pretty well. And then the second and third show, despite great lineups, were kind of hamstrung by poor turnout. So the July show coincided with Levitate.
Oh.
So I liked, I was blaming that, but it's like, come on, how much fucking crossover really between Levitate and a rock and metal show? But and then
I'm sure there's some.
And then August was not great either. So I was bumming out, and then so the September show I changed the way I promoted it a little bit. And the bands were all, I kind of let the bands know, like, look, man, I really need you guys to help me because I'm not pointing any fingers at anybody. Although if you're starting to blush, maybe I am talking about you.
It's hard.
Like, yeah. Well, but you ask a band to be on a bill and then they don't.
You expect them to fucking invite people.
Right. I mean, and it's like, I understand that, a newer band just starting out might not have a huge following or shit. Even a band that's been around for 5 years might not have a huge following. Sometimes it's, you're waiting and
like
you're shoveling shit against the tide, waiting for just that one moment that all of a sudden people find you. And so I get that. But like, if you're playing a gig, you owe it to your band, but you also owe it to the guy to put you on the gig to promote it, to push it. So
I max out all my invites, Rob.
Yeah, no, and I'm not saying, and forgive me if it sounds like I'm pointing fingers at anybody. These last 2 shows.
I mean, it's justified.
I'm speaking in very general terms. I honestly don't know. The bands that I had on the summer series, I saw them pushing the event page and stuff like that. So, again, it's I don't want to put my foot in my mouth here, but it was frustrating. It was and at the same time, the venue wasn't really doing any promotion, and it's like, well,
I noticed that.
Yeah. They did on this last one.
Okay.
And again, I'm not knocking pins.
They just fucking hang up posters in the mall, and they're like, that's
well, they didn't even do that much for
wow.
They did it for this last one. They had a bunch up around the venue and stuff like that.
Guys.
But it's tough. It's tough anyway. And so here's the thing. I'm not a promoter. I fell into this.
You're the right guy to fall into it, though.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're like a big personality, fucking good guy. Like, you're charming, super charming. And you can do whatever you want with shows. Like, I feel like you'd be an excellent promoter. Well,
I'll tell you this, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And for the guys that do it for real, I have a lot of respect for them.
Yeah.
And that's actually, that was part of my frustration, was like, I couldn't imagine doing this like for a living. And I guess if I did it for a living,
if you had the time to put into it.
Yeah, I guess if I did it for a living, right, I'd have the time and I would have a different set of resources. Because again, I'm winging it.
Yeah.
Making it up as I go along. But the way this all fell together was, I was just trying to get gigs for the Rocket Gods. And it was the same thing with the Straight Eights, you know, just me trying to get shows. And if you go to a venue and you say, hey, I'd really like to have my band play there, especially a venue like Pins where they have, you know, cover bands, or they used to have, I hate to say this, it's nasty to say it.
Oh, say it, please.
Kind of the parade of has-beens.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
like
I mean,
nostalgia acts, kind of.
Yeah, well, so like,
which can be cool.
I remember the first big one that came through there, at least that I remember, was Living Color.
Yeah. I just said in Living Color, like the show.
Yeah, they didn't come, just the band, not the whole show. And you know, and then Buck Cherry came through there. I don't know who the fuck likes Buck Cherry, but whatever.
They're like, they have some kind of local connection.
Dude,
I think so.
Yeah, those guys are made for life. They have like the perfect formula. Like they had one, they just threw shit at a wall, and it happened to be cocaine.
I know the drummer.
I forgot about that song. The only one I can think of is Crazy Bitch.
Yeah,
and it's fucking huge.
Douchey, but
terribly huge.
You couldn't get away from it.
Yeah.
You couldn't get away from it when I was on.
Their drummer went to drum lessons here in Whitman at Horrigan School of Music.
Okay.
Yeah. Or was it him? It was either him or the singer. One of them have a connection to Horrigan School of Music.
Yeah, and again, I'm not knocking them as musicians or anything.
No, they're good musicians, but I get it.
Yeah.
Fuck. Buck Cherry, dude.
I think some iteration of Stryper. You know, and so Michael Sweet from Stryper lives down in Plymouth. You guys probably know that. So
I did the floors in one of their houses.
Are they all in Mass now? Or?
I don't know. I don't even know what member of the band it was, but he was selling it, and I did the floors in it. It was bad. And I didn't see him. I just know because of the builder.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Was everything like fucking black and yellow stripes in the house? Or?
No. But the house was fucking cool. The layout of the house is cool. It was like one floor, but it was a really big, like ranch-style home, but like custom built. He had a nice pool in the back looking over the harbor, like right before the bridge, right before you go over Sagamore.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
You know what? It ain't my cup of tea, the Christian rock, but you got to hand it to them. They haven't wavered, you know, and they are still playing. And they made it. They were pretty big for a while. I mean, I think in the 80s, you know, when they first hit, I don't even know if we knew that they were like Christian. You know, we just assumed that they were singing about loving chicks and shit. And then you find out, no, I'm talking about loving Christ. And like, that's your bad.
Or being married to the same woman forever and not cheating on her.
We were talking with Alex, and we were talking about how, like, the guys put on stage back in the day were just effeminized.
Yes.
And, like, put in, like, wigs and fucking tight clothes.
Yeah.
And, like,
But there was still that.
And then the chicks were into them, so they were like...
Because chicks
they were like the guys were androgynous, but they still had very male energy.
I don't know, though. The
only
big dick energy you hear about is Tommy Lee out of all those musicians.
That is not... But yeah, that's what he does have a huge hog. But that is not the only big dick energy in that scene. It's all big dick energy.
Look at Vince Neil. Look at Vince Neil. Look at Stephen Pearcy. Look at really any of those guys.
Look at them like I'm bringing it up.
Yeah, look at them. Look at them. But
what about Diamond Dave?
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, you think he's hung?
No, I'm not talking.
What are you? What?
Wait. I'm not talking about big dicks. I'm talking about that male energy. The dick,
got him.
What they're packing is notwithstanding.
What do you think Rob's packing?
I don't know.
It's huge.
He's living large.
I'll whip it out before the end of the podcast.
Living large.
Awesome. That's what we strive for here.
But if you look at those bands, yeah. I mean, look at how about Whitesnake?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they were around for a long time before Here I Go Again and all that. But you know, you see him on the video. He's got the big blown out hair and very soft features, but. I mean, the dude's got Connie Katane doing splits on his fucking Jag. Must be doing
David Coverdale, right?
Pre-crazy. Yeah, what did I say?
Is it David Coverdale?
Yeah.
No.
Did I say something different?
No.
Okay, I might have. But, yeah, David Coverdale, you know, and but he you know, emanates that male essence, and you know that's been beaten out of everybody in society nowadays. You know, toxic masculinity.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You know, I won't go down that road.
That's a funny thing. Yeah.
Some toxic masculinity pulling you out of a fucking burning house.
Yeah.
You know, not saying that women can't do the job. I just mean there's
I wish I could show them Phil Anselmo.
Phil
like back in his prime.
his dick.
No. Just may I present to you?
I bet Phil has a small dick.
He might.
You take
He's got small dick energy, but I love Pantera.
Jesus Christ. The hate mail rolls in.
Yeah, of all 2 fucking listeners. The only 2 listeners we have hate us. They listen because they hate us.
I like you guys okay.
Aw, thanks, dude. Yeah, it's I don't know. I feel like things are getting more fluent as we go along.
Yeah.
We're doing it. You ain't.
How many...
That's a good point. We're doing it.
How many episodes you guys in now?
Bragg, what do
Like
you think?
17.
Okay.
Still under 20.
Is that's not 17 guests though? Because the early episodes we broke up into segments, right?
The early episodes were a rocky, siren-infested alcove.
It's still rocky.
Before you reach the island
Let's
that
not
is
kid ourselves.
what we're building.
Yeah, it takes time to get your groove, figure out what you want to do. And
Well, yeah, dude. Well, like we were saying, like right before we were recording, it's like it's a different muscle, man. Like you're a performer, we perform, you know, and you get comfortable on stage.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you're like doing a totally different thing, like podcasting, it's a totally different muscle that you have to like work out. I'm learning that as we go.
Yeah, I mean, it's more akin to getting up and doing like stand-up comedy or spoken word, right?
Yeah, I imagine it would be. Yeah, definitely.
Because the focus is on the content,
the verbal content,
exactly
yeah.
what you're saying, and
it's different.
And it's and you know what? It's easy when you're doing this to think before you speak, say the wrong thing.
Yeah, totally.
You guys have probably already seen that, and you probably will some more tonight.
Absolutely, yeah.
But,
and we're not into like the editing thing.
Yeah.
Like when as far as editing goes, like the farthest we will probably ever take it is to like edit out a bathroom break without starting a new segment.
No, you guys are following me
to
the bathroom when I go.
Oh yeah. No, we.
Okay.
You want to bring the mics and all that?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be excellent.
The camera mostly.
Yeah, we got to figure that one out. That would be fun. Yeah, we could have a bathroom episode.
I wonder if the acoustics in there are amazing.
Oh, they got it. Every bathroom's acoustics are amazing. But we're in priority music, so probably not.
Yeah, probably not. The fucking shit smeared on the walls might affect the fucking reverb.
So when are you going to get the boys on the stage?
The boys on the stage here?
Yeah.
We've been talking about it. Yeah, we definitely want to do it.
For those who don't know, we have a stage here for the bands to perform on.
Yeah, over there. Yeah, and we're looking forward to having you record us too. So.
Yeah, you guys, you have material for an album, I hear.
At least.
Yeah, that's what
I'm talking
Alex was saying.
Double LP, fucking full gatefold.
For real, you have that much stuff?
No.
I got the time.
Yeah, no, we're not far off. I'll let the guys do one of their fucking freeform jams for 20 minutes on one side. Maybe on side D.
It would probably be pretty good.
It would be fucking
big.
It would be fucking awesome.
I'm sure.
Big Daddy will take care of you.
Yeah, they. Let me tell you something. I mean, I've only been in a few bands, but it is a privilege to be in a band with these guys. I mean, you guys know Pat.
Absolutely.
Is an incredible drummer. Like he knows where a song is going.
Yeah, he'll read your mind.
Like Keith will just be noodling around, working something out for the first time ever. And he just starts playing,
and he nails it.
And Pat's like, he knows where the change is, and he knows what the change is gonna be, And then Alex jumps in, and Alex and Pat lock right in, and Alex is such a phenomenal bassist.
He's excellent.
I mean, for anybody out there who doesn't know, and that's everybody probably, I played bass in my last band. And
Straight Eights.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Straight Eights.
Thank you.
Fuck yeah, dude. I love you guys.
Thank
I
you.
love
I
playing
appreciate
with
that.
you guys. I love listening. It was great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
We were. Thank you. We just, we looked at ourselves as a fun party band.
You were.
And
But you were good. You were a good fun party band.
I felt like we had good
I fit
songs.
right in as a fan.
Yeah. I felt like we had good songs.
Yeah.
I did too.
And maybe we weren't all grade A musicians. I fell into playing bass.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up a guitar for the first time. I was like 20, and I found out that it's hard, and it requires practice, and that was something I didn't really dedicate a lot of my time to back then. But I wanted to just do a Misfits cover band,
Right on.
and so I learned a bunch of the Misfits songs, and then a buddy of mine who he was in a bunch of bands. He was in the Nothings, who probably nobody's.
Yeah.
Oh, you remember the Nothings?
Yeah.
And Kevorkian's Angels, and,
Nice.
and some other bands. And so he actually was the one that kind of gave me my first my only guitar lesson.
That's
really.
not a bad thing.
Yeah. So I went from there, and then he and I were kind of jamming together, and then he was like, "Well, let's learn some Crime," the band Crime.
Yeah.
And then from there, it just went to us writing our own stuff.
Nice.
And so, really, the only time I practiced was when the band practiced. I didn't, I would occasionally go home and noodle, but I can play power chords and a couple of open chords, and that's about it. And then after that band broke up, I didn't touch my guitar for over 10 years. And then, but I missed performing. I always missed performing. Actually, Alex said something to the same
You're
effect.
a performer, man.
Yeah, and so I missed it. And so I remember I was with my now wife, but my girlfriend at the time, and I said to her, man, I really miss being in a band. And she goes, so start one.
Hell yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck. Wait. Not only are you okay with it, but you're
You're
encouraging
supportive?
me? Yeah. Because my first wife was not so much. And so I did. I started the Straight Eights, and I was originally on guitar, and just as shitty guitarist as I ever was. And we had trouble keeping a bassist, and we went through 5 bassists in a year. And after the last bassist quit, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to learn how to fucking play bass.
Nice.
I suck at guitar. I can suck at bass too. And so I bought a bass, and I learned the parts on bass. And honestly, I'm kicking myself now because bass is the instrument that I should have started on because it just makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And I have rhythm.
I know the feeling, man. I feel like I should have started on drums, but
Yeah. So anyways, long story short, I'm fucking going way off on tangents here, but
No, you're good.
That's what we're here for.
So I played bass for 5-6 years with this band, and I knew that I wasn't great, but I felt like I was competent. I had a certain style, very driving, eighth notes, because I was also singing at the same time.
Yep.
So it's you need to just be able to keep rolling with your right hand while you're singing, not exactly at the same tempo or not tempo, but same fucking pattern as your right hand. So anyways, when things stagnated with the Straight Eights for a little while, Keith started the Rocket Gods, and he asked me if I wanted to come on board and sing, and I was like, let me noodle on it a little bit, let me think on it. I'm trying to save the Straight Eights. And so after Keith quit, and then Bones, he started getting kind of busy, and
well, Bones is in a pretty excellent band.
Yes, Bones is on Oxblood Forge.
Yeah, shout out.
Bones has been in a bunch of great bands.
Yeah.
That's Rob Leoy for anybody that didn't grow up with him.
Good guy and talented motherfucker.
The kid can play his ass off, and he's a good dude. Yeah. And then Rob Webster, my drummer, he had some things going on. So I said, this just feels like the right time. We've been treading water for a while, a couple of years.
Yeah.
And so I said to Keith, let's try it out. I'll see what I got. And it's a different band because Straight Eights were, I wasn't singing so much, just screaming words. You know, I wrote all the lyrics, and I'm proud of those lyrics. I think they were, you know, funny and, you know.
Absolutely.
But the screaming, I look back on it now, and
Baby oil twist.
Yeah, it's, you know. But I look back on it now that I'm actually singing, and I've always kind of been able to sing. But I look back now, I'm like, you know, I could have done so much more with that. But I'm doing it now.
You're doing it.
And
dude, you're doing it, and you're crushing it, man. You're a fucking awesome singer.
I have a little bit of imposter syndrome.
That's okay.
Anybody in the band will tell you that.
You'll get over it.
But well, it's been this long. But anyways, I got off track. What I was saying was, you know, when I first started watching Alex play, and you know, now I'm watching his left hand because this kid's doing some
moves.
shit.
Yeah, he does a lot of
moving. He's
moving.
doing some scales and some fills, and I'm just like, wow, man, this kid's fucking good. And, you know, Keith I already knew because Keith was in the straight eights with me, and he's just a straight up rock and roll guitarist. So I'm very privileged, and I know that I'm very lucky to be in a band with these three guys. So I do my best to bring what I can to the table. And, you know, I often feel like it's not enough, but they tell me it is, so I guess they'll keep me around for a little bit.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you're going to be your own biggest critic. That makes sense.
Yeah, I always have.
And you can always strive for more, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you know, a little secret, I'm actually taking voice lessons because
nice.
I am tired of being, like, limited to, like, my range is just, it's not, my range is broader than I'm able to access right now.
Yep, I get that.
So, so I'm working with somebody and
awesome.
Yeah, it's helping.
Is that anyone you want to like shout out?
Yeah, I mean, so her name is Deborah Perry, from I think Deborah Perry Studios.
Cool.
And very, very reasonably priced, and she's a great teacher. She doesn't blow smoke, and she holds you accountable. There've been a couple of times that I just was too busy with life. You know, I'm not a 15-year-old kid who wants to, you know, get on America's, you know, top talent or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
I'm a 46-year-old guy, you know, so life gets in the way, and I'm not always able to,
totally,
you know, do my exercises, you know.
Yeah.
And she'll hold you accountable for that.
Good.
And that's what a teacher should, exactly. You know, she could just collect my money and just be like, yeah, whatever, you know, but she said, like, are you committed to this? And when a teacher, when somebody who's teaching you something that you want to learn challenges you like that, I think it makes you redouble your efforts. It did for me anyway.
Fuck yeah, it should.
Because, like, you try hard to get an A in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and it's like, I don't want to fuck this up, and I don't want to look like an asshole.
But you're not overachieving. I would say
That's not nice.
I wouldn't say it's overachieving.
Jesus Christ! I didn't come here to be insulted.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring up the O. I didn't mean to bring up the O word.
No, I'm definitely not an overachiever. I mean, I've never.
No, but trying to do good in the first place is not overachieving anyway. So,
okay.
Yeah. Like the effort in the first place to get an A.
Oh, yeah.
And then just improvement, period, is just awesome.
Well, that's my goal, is to improve.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a register break that I want to, you know, get through so I can hit some of the higher notes. You know, the guys keep proposing these covers.
They proposed to you?
Yeah, they proposed.
Like Priest covers?
We haven't gotten to Priest yet.
How high you want to go?
I mean, well, let's see. So we do Rush.
yeah, Alex mentioned that the other day.
Yeah, we
That's
do.
pretty
So
rad.
we do Rush. We do an AC/DC cover. You know, and I'm like, hey guys,
Bon Scott or Okay, cool, cool.
So, yeah, so you know, it's and that's the thing is so many rock songs, rock singers are in an upper register, you know, a higher register. So, you know, unless I want to fucking convince the guys to do, you know, Bobby Darin covers. Or Danzig, you know, I could do Danzig like a motherfucker.
Oh, you would crush Danzig.
So.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So, how did you guys get into music? Like, what was your moment?
What the fuck?
That's right. I just flipped the script. I'm asking you.
Yeah. Well, do you want to go first?
Uncle Bobby, 7 years old. Then I got into music. Yeah.
Uncle Bobby.
What's the first song
Uncle
that
Bobby.
you like?
My first song was friggin'
Bam, bam.
Yeah.
It's a
Same
good
old
first song.
and
It's
dance.
Yeah,
not
it
like
is.
Iron Man or some shit like everyone else.
Hey.
Is that one of your first?
No.
I'll say.
I'll
that-
give you my story.
I'll say Joe Perry's all right at guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's play a lick or two.
Yeah. And then my friend Devin back in like elementary school showed me like really gory music, and I was just
Okay.
like, this is it. This is where I sit.
Yeah.
But no, I do like every kind of music, so it's like whatever.
Why not?
Rocking.
It's
What do you-
just been second nature my whole life.
So what do you find yourself listening to now? Like, so I find myself listening to more stuff that I eschewed in my younger days.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure. Yeah, you kind of grow the mind or the open mind.
Yeah.
You know.
You just get older and softer, and
Yeah.
you know,
Start hearing
all
shit
my
that you weren't
songs don't
into.
have to be about fucking burning down City Hall anymore. You know.
Yeah. Although they should be. Dude, I think so I've been singing and like dancing since I can remember. I used to like perform in homeroom for like
Nice.
yeah, when I was in like first grade. And I don't know, like my grandparents, music runs deep in my family.
Yep.
My grandfather, Lawrence O'Brien, he used to sit in for the Duke Ellington band.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and
That's awesome.
and then all his brothers were jazz musicians and all that big band music, you know. So I grew up like watching him play drums and like sitting on his lap, but I've always just found myself like getting caught up in like just like anything I could sing along to as a kid, you know, just singing melodic shit. And I used to sing and perform for my whole family, but guitar, when I got into guitar, I have an older cousin. His name's Ryan DeLory, old school punk rocker.
Okay.
And he's about 4 or 5 years older than me. And when I was like 8 or 9, he was showing me NoFX,
Okay.
S&M Airlines, and
Okay.
and Rancid's self-titled album, and Out Come the Wolves. And we used to just jam out in his room, and it was fucking awesome, right? And like anytime I didn't have cable at my house, so at a friend's house, I'd watch like MTV at friends' houses.
Yeah.
You see these guitars and these just like crazy personalities doing their thing, you know. And one Christmas, I was over at my cousin Ryan's house, and he walked into the room with a Gibson Les Paul, like brand new. Like his parents bought him a Gibson Les Paul and a half stack, like a Marshall half stack,
Wow.
SLX 900, and I'm like nerding out right now, but like I almost pissed my pants. Like I saw this guitar for the first time. I saw a real guitar in person, not on TV. I did not know they existed anywhere else but TV. So like when he brought that in, I was just in fucking awe, and I had to have one. And you know, I've always been like writing songs in my brain and singing my own songs.
Yeah.
Like even when I was a little kid, I used to just like come up with my own shit. Probably ripping off like people like Taylor Dane or like Roy Orbison or some shit like that. You
Hey,
know?
everything is fucking stolen.
Yeah, you know. And so like I begged my parents to get me a guitar for Christmas, and they got me a Ibanez. I don't know. It was a cheaper Ibanez X something series.
They wanted to make sure you were actually gonna.
Yeah, definitely.
I did that with my kids too. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not buying you the fucking
Right.
gold top.
Right. My mom was pumped though, because she grew up like that, like just
Okay.
music all the
Yeah.
time, and going to her father's like performances, things like that.
That's
know?
awesome.
Yeah, so like I had a lot of support, and I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah.
I took a few weeks. I think it maybe was a month of lessons from
Okay.
a guy named Justin in Hanover at Factory Music. And
Factory. All right,
my
hold on.
ADHD
Back up.
couldn't do
Factory
it.
music.
Yeah.
Where was that? That was
So that's on 53, kind of near Starland. It was in it was right next to the Salvation Army. It was in a building next to the Salvation
Jesus,
Army.
I
I
don't
think
even-
there's an auto store there now.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that being a music. And I grew up in Norwell. but I mean that strip of 53. You know,
Yeah,
I
of
begged
course,
my
yeah.
mom to take me to Starland most Saturdays.
So you didn't know factory music?
It's ringing a bell, but I just can't picture it.
Yeah.
I can't picture it. That whole 53, I mean, again, just going off on a
Blends
fucking
in.
tangent. What's that?
It blends in.
Well, I mean, when I was growing up, that was all fucking houses. It was all houses at 53, at least, you know, Norwell up to the 123 crossover and a little further up, like almost till you got to the mall. And then, yeah, it was, you know, probably junior high years or something when they just started knocking all that shit down and putting up,
Yeah.
you know, other buildings.
Just developing all that
Nobody
shit.
cares about that. You could probably cut that out.
Whatever, man. Maybe some people will relate to it.
So,
oh, man. The mall over there, the Hanover Mall. The
dude, that was
arcade.
devastating to me when they knocked that down.
Yeah, I saw videos of that. I think that you shared.
It was your 9/11.
It was worse than 9/11
To your
and
childhood.
January
Holy
6th
shit.
combined.
To your childhood, man.
It really was. It really was. I mean, the mall was.
Were you growing up when that was built?
Jesus,
How old is that
Kevin.
mall?
Yeah, Jesus.
No, I'm not trying to age anybody. Plus, at whatever age you are, Rob, you don't look it. So.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, sweetie.
When was that mall built, though?
It was built, I want to say either late 60s, early 70s.
Oh, wow.
And
No shit.
I could be wrong about this. I probably am. I think I'm getting it confused. So the South Shore Plaza was originally an open-air mall. It didn't have a roof.
Really?
And then they put a roof on it.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know if the same thing could be said about Hanover.
Aren't they doing that with Hanover now?
Yeah, they're turning it into another fucking Derby Street.
Yeah.
1971.
There we go.
Oh, wow. Fucking Brian
So,
with the Google.
80 stores.
80 stores.
I found some old pictures online somewhere of, like, and I remember it too. Like they had like fucking wall sconces and shit in the hall, and I was like these like glass globes, like lights, and I just saw this picture and it like took me right back in time, man. Like when the fountain was still there, you know.
Oh
and,
yeah, the fountain.
You know,
yeah.
and some asshole would always go up to Dr. Pett's and buy some goldfish and throw them in the fountain. And,
I never thought of doing that. That's awesome.
yeah, and yeah, man, you had fucking Sears and Woolworths and again, there's more shit that. This is stuff
nobody
that,
cares.
Exactly. This is right now. If my wife is gonna watch this, should be like, fucking Rob. I've heard all this shit so many times.
Talking about Ames. and fucking.
Yeah, right. It used to be Zayres, and then it was Ames, and then Ames bought Caldor, which is where your mom worked.
Caldor.
Yeah. Either that or Purity.
Purity Supreme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, so this
That was here in this town. Purity.
What?
Purity was?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was Johnny Foodmaster after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was in Norwell at Queen Anne's Corner. There was a Purity Supreme there before.
No
that.
shit.
It was,
Now it's a Y. Ooh.
Yeah, or a
That's
big Y.
It's a glow up. I've never been there.
Fuck that place.
Okay.
I
Hear
bought,
that, Big Y?
I bought. Yeah, fuck you.
Hard
Big
Rock
Y.
Life does not approve.
I gotta tell you a story about Big Y.
It's Big Y go there.
Motherfuckers.
Oh, do it.
So, my wife is a big fan of gray corned beef.
All right.
So before St. Patty's Day, when corned beef is a thing, they had a whole bunch. You couldn't find gray. You could only find red. Mm-hmm. So she heard that there was gray, or maybe I stopped by there, during my work day, whatever. They had gray corned beef. I bought 2 things of it, and I brought it home. And even though the package, the date was good, we opened it up, and it was rancid. It was clearly rancid. I bring it back to the store to return it. I didn't have a fucking receipt, because who the fuck keeps a receipt for corned beef?
Of course.
And
I don't keep a receipt for anything, although I should.
The fucking inquisition that I was subjected to get my fucking $30 back, and I never got that back. They gave me a gift card because I didn't have the receipt. I'm like,
What?
it says right on it, Big Y. Like, what is the fucking problem here? And the lady was not being helpful. I said, you know what? And I never do this. I don't have the haircut for it. But get your fucking manager out here, because I'm thinking the manager's gonna come out and go, Yeah, what? It's
just give
it's
him what he
$30.
wants.
Give him his fucking money.
Yeah, man.
Nope. He comes up and they're questioning me, and it's like I'm going on my phone. I'm going on my my bank statement, pulling up my debit card transactions. I'm like, yeah, it's right here. You know, whatever fucking March, whatever. Here it is.
Wow.
And they're like, well, it doesn't match the total that we have.
Wow.
I'm like, and I was like, oh, you know what? I bought a fucking thing of pickles too. So add $4 to that, and now here we are. And they still wouldn't give me the money. They gave me a gift card, which.
Wow.
And it's not like they have a huge problem with fucking people ripping meat off or.
Right.
Yeah.
They could rip this meat.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah, right. Eat that meat.
So fuck the Big Y. I'm going on official record. I'm representing the Rocket Gods, saying fuck the Big Y.
Fair enough. Fuck the Big Y.
0 stars.
I used to go out to a Big Y in Southbridge, and it was kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't. I don't know. It just didn't seem clean.
Yeah, it is. It's your typical fucking shitty supermarket with the auspice of being higher class.
Yo, I went to a joint in the Cape today and ate tripe and liver and like all kinds of shit.
You ate liver?
Yeah, why would you eat tripe?
I've never ate liver, but we'll go back to that.
It was meat day. It was good.
Was it good?
Yeah.
I'm still never gonna try it.
What does liver taste like?
What does it taste like?
It's like meat.
Yeah, like
It's like meat, but it's soft.
like
It's
beef.
beyond tender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
No,
I got a texture thing. I can't eat fish.
Ah,
either.
you'd love tripe. It's like it's a cow's second stomach.
I know.
Yeah.
I won't eat that either. Nope. And I'm
It
not gonna
looks
eat.
weird. It's like a honeycomb inside, but it's like
Yeah.
it looks like
Not interested.
fake.
And I'm not gonna eat fucking sweetbreads or sweetmeats or whatever the
Oh,
fucking
yeah?
cow's brain is.
Is
I
that
don't know
what
if I'd
that's
eat
called?
brains
I'm
anyway.
not eating chicken hearts.
You can
Yeah,
get like diseases from eating brains.
That's true.
Yeah, fucking rabies.
Beyond that,
Yeah, there actually are some pretty like bad disease. Well, there's a particular disease that's tied into eating brain. That is, I forget what it's called, but it's bad and it causes a lot of bad shit in your head.
Yeah. Hey, how about just
Eat fucking steak.
stick to the fucking steaks.
yeah,
Yeah.
true.
What do you think about all the plant-based stuff that's like?
Go fuck itself.
Yeah.
You know, it's a funny thing, right? The people that push that stuff,
Schools too.
are they?
Yeah, they're trying to. Yeah.
So Bill Gates trying to get you to eat fucking insects.
Yeah, dude.
He's now the largest
Farm landowner.
bingo.
yeah.
Funny about that.
Aren't
right?
we? All
Yeah.
And it's funny how all these food production plants keep burning down. I went to get some turkey at the supermarket last week, and the kid's like, "Yeah, no turkey. Like we can't get it."
Yeah, dude.
And I went a couple days ago.
The fuck do you mean you don't have turkey,
Right.
man?
Like they don't know how to make them anymore. Like there's a lot of them. Like they're fucking all over.
It's
all over
everywhere.
Pembroke, Hanson, Whitman.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, they still don't have any. He said, yeah, like the major turkey supplier, fucking, there was a fire. Why is this? Why are people not asking this question? All of these fucking food plants and
Why?
farms and everything else, they're burning down.
Golfing, yeah.
Planes
Yeah,
crashed into
I've
a
been
couple
seeing
of
all
them.
that shit. Yeah, a couple
Yeah.
planes.
One in Virginia.
Yep.
A
Really?
plane flew right into it. It
Yep.
was like a Cheerio factory or some shit.
I was just
Bye-bye.
gonna say, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was a Cheerio.
Something like that. And Bill Gates owns like a lot of farmland.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
like Rob was saying.
Yeah,
he's
like
like
the-
the
he's a
biggest owner of
majority-
farmland.
like
Is
he's
he
a large-
is he destroying his own shit?
It beats me. I don't-
false flagging it up.
I doubt he's fucking farming it for food.
Dude,
He wants you to eat insects and
he's
die.
pushing this shit like with the intentions of like being healthy and all that.
Look at him.
He looks like shit,
Look at him.
and he like
He has a burger every
yeah.
day though. He's happy.
Yeah, fucking plant-based burger, clearly.
No, they got money. They have real food.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but-
not for them.
Right.
They can eat whatever the fuck they want.
Right.
Just like the guys that they fly from environmental talk to
G6.
environmental
Oh,
talk.
these
G6
fucking
G6
assholes,
summit?
like driving around on their giant fucking jets and whatever.
Yeah, the G6 climate summit or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, it's okay for me to do it because I have a very important mission. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I'm spreading a message.
And then they tried to pawn it off on the celebrities, being
Yeah.
like, "Look what they're doing."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Everything nowadays, nobody can look at their own shit, right?
They just project.
Anytime you say, well, hey, you know what, I don't like that this candidate candidate A, you know, he stands for this and that and the other thing, and I don't know that that's good policy. And whoever supports candidate A goes, well, candidate B fucking did X, Y, Z. Okay, well, that's irrelevant.
That's the world. Well,
Yeah.
that's the U.S.
Yeah.
But politics
That's
around
many
the world,
parts
I'm
of the
pretty
world,
sure.
But yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Divisive as fuck.
Whatever.
It's well,
Which
it's,
side
it's
are you
insane,
on,
man.
motherfucker?
Independent. I'm independent.
Yeah.
I know you weren't asking me that. It was
This
more
one
of a
doesn't-
rhetorical question, but
This one's not making a choice.
I just don't understand why people can't just sit down and like have a conversation and have their disagreements and have the things they agree on, because everybody agrees on something. But like we're sold this package of like,
Let's go
you
back
gotta
to
hate
taxes.
this team because you're on this team.
Let's roll back to getting mad at
Well,
taxes.
so here's the thing: is
Yeah.
it all comes down to social media, right? I
Dude,
have friends on both sides of the aisle, and you know, I'm in the middle, and you know, I can talk to either of them, and yeah,
Right.
they may have views that I don't agree with, and I have views that they don't agree with. But you know what?
But you agree on some shit.
We agree on some shit, but we just have a mutual respect.
Yeah.
Social media has removed the
Humanity.
well, the word I'm looking for is
I think I know what you mean.
it's removed the
It broke contact.
well, yeah,
Direct
but
contact.
it has also eliminated the expectation of respect, right?
Yeah.
Your filter,
Again, this is a little bit of a tangent, but going back to
your
the whole,
filters
No,
are
no.
off when you're posting online. You could just like shit
because
talk.
no one's gonna fucking punch you in the face,
Right.
Right.
and that's you know,
Unless they send you your IP address in a response.
yeah, and then they swat you.
Yeah, dude.
You know? And that's the
Yeah.
thing, too, right? Fucking, I don't like this guy. I'm going to send a fucking SWAT team to his house. And I think it's hilarious because fucking, as far as they're concerned, there's no repercussions. There's no,
Right.
consequences until they get caught. And then they're fucked. But it's like, you know, that's it. It's social media has removed consequence from interactions. People are used to being able to just shoot their mouth off, going off they don't even know what they're talking about half the time, and they state something like it's fact.
Yeah.
And then if someone goes, oh yeah, give me 3 examples, they just don't. They just fucking disappear. Doesn't hurt them any. They're not embarrassed.
I want
Right.
sources.
They're not-
I want a source.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
You know? And they're not surrounded by a group of people going, yeah, Kev, you know, give me 3 examples of the time. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
and you know, fucking Mike Tyson said it. You know, social media
I was
has,
just gonna say that.
yeah, you know, has gotten people used to the idea of being able to talk shit and not get punched in the mouth.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. What do you say? Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah. Well, that goes back to a general, whether it was Patton or another general, said that.
Oh, really?
Well, he's basically what they said was, you know, no plan survives first contact with the enemy. You know, you can have everything planned out, but once that fucking first bullet comes flying,
Yeah.
it's
Dude, that makes sense actually, because he like reads a lot of historical content. Like, yeah, he's really into like generals and shit. Actually, now that you mention it, he's into like fucking dominating leaders.
yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of funny.
People don't read enough nowadays. I
That
don't think.
motherfucker does.
Yeah.
No, you're right though. You're right.
You know, and it's people don't read enough. They don't read for knowledge, and again,
They're taking your books away.
they're taking books away,
And
and people don't care.
Yeah. No.
Kids are like, good, fuck books, you know, and it's not just social media; it's these things
Yeah.
because it's and the internet in general because you don't have to remember anything anymore. You don't have to learn anything anymore. You just look it up.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
know.
it's true.
But when that well of knowledge has been poisoned by bad actors, people that have their own agenda, you know, Wikipedia, anybody can go and change shit in Wikipedia.
Yeah.
So now you're reading an article on a controversial topic or controversial person, and somebody's gotten in there and fucking edited it to reflect their own views.
Yeah.
How do you know what to believe anymore?
It's a fucking dicey avenue, man.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I mean, again, it's we have information overload.
Yeah.
You know, constant. The news is ever since the first Gulf War, basically invented the need for a 24-hour news cycle.
Yeah.
See,
Yep. Just doom and gloom and
Yeah, but it's like, and that's the thing is, all right, we have to fucking have shit going for 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So now they're digging into stuff that fucking 30 years ago you never would have heard of.
And they're all coming at it with an agenda.
Yeah, well, but
whether you're Fox or CNN, like they both have their party's agenda.
Yeah,
and they get their ratings from fucking being constantly played at hospitals and like restaurants.
Yep.
Like,
yeah.
And their ratings actually suck right now. What were you just saying though?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, you look back like 30 years ago, some kid gets kidnapped in Saskatchewan. You never fucking hearing about that. You hear about it now.
Yep.
Your fucking phone will buzz. Some kid fucking got kidnapped 1,500 miles away. Keep an eye out.
Dude, speaking of Saskatchewan, how do you say it? Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan.
Yeah, there was that like knife massacre there.
Yeah.
Like a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
10 people died.
Would that have made the? Maybe that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it is kind of a big deal. But no, I definitely see where you're coming from, man. Now we see everything.
Yeah.
So, in a lot of the stories, you sit there saying to yourself, like, this isn't a news story.
Right.
Why is this on here?
Yeah.
And of course, why it's on there is to like persuade you into thinking something.
Well, I mean, it would be local news, where it stayed local. You know what I mean? We used to hear about local stuff like when I was growing up. You know what I mean? More than like the world news. The world news would be like a segment of the news. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's 180.
There is so much good local news that could be told, though.
Like, yeah. And
there's so many people doing good things.
so many people.
Yeah, but that doesn't sell.
I know.
That sells like 10% of that sells.
Yeah, peace sells, but who's buying, right?
And then
That'd be a great song. You should write that down.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, man. I just heard Dave Mustaine recently in a couple of interviews. He's like all over the place these days.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't. I actually just I try not to. You can't help but read the news and hear the news, but I don't go out of my way to do it. But yeah, I've heard his name pop up, and
Oh, it's everywhere.
I know Alex was pretty stoked with the new Megadeth shit.
Yeah, he mentioned that.
No.
I haven't listened to I was never really a big fan of Megadeth. I had Euthanasia as a kid.
So
I thought it was pretty cool, but I could never like his voice. I just couldn't.
yeah, I don't have a ton of their stuff. Like I had Peace Sells with Who's Buying.
Yeah,
and-
talented motherfucker though.
Yeah, and and that's a great album, but yeah, I get what you mean. What do you mean? I can't fucking.
Hello, me. It's me again.
And we actually that was a running joke with me and my buddies back in the day. It's like, fucking, no matter what we were doing, I'd be like, what do you mean? You can't turn right on red. I turn right on red. But yeah, I mean, fuck social media.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
And the news, and all media, and
I feel like such a hypocrite because I use social media, but I'm not on there like I used to be. A lot of the times now I find myself using it to like share people's music or share their shows.
Well, so that's the thing.
I go on and I like some things.
So Facebook I use 99% for the band.
Mm.
Occasionally I might fucking complain about something or whatever, but so every once in a while, a memory will pop up of something that I posted 10 years ago, and I just go, oh.
That happened to me recently.
Like, what am I?
It's the Fed book. That's how it works.
Yeah.
It's like a mind.
Yeah.
It's a mind control thing. It fucking rekindles shit and fucking either makes you mad or it makes you socially fucking like flip flop. You know what I mean? It gets in your head. And then it's all you can think about.
Yeah,
and then you're like, oh, who's online?
I'm gonna quit Facebook. I'm gonna quit Twitter. I'm just gonna go back to classmates.
Dude, it's I admit I'm guilty of watching some like Facebook drama.
Dude.
Sometimes people will post some crazy shit, awfully personal. The person they're directing it to comes right back at them, and then this is fucking.
That's the other reason.
Michael Jackson eating popcorn.
That's the other reason I don't quit Facebook because there's a few follows. There's a few people I follow that is a daily source of entertainment.
It's that train wreck you're gonna watch.
and their lack of self-awareness.
Yeah, dude.
Like these people really think that the fucking world is a stage and they're
listening to them.
Yeah,
Dude, they're screaming into the void.
Yeah.
That's what Facebook is.
Yeah. Well, it's,
You're giving your data to someone.
What's that?
You're giving your data to someone.
That's inevitable, no matter what you do now.
Yeah, any social media.
That's the thing. I used to try to be very selective about that stuff, and then I just realized, you can't
avoid it.
You can't. Once you get a fucking spam email about something that
you're done.
You mentioned in passing.
Yeah.
Like, all right, well, there's literally no escaping this.
Yep.
And that was, I remember when I first started telling people, like, maybe 10 years ago, like, your phone's listening to everything you say.
Oh, yeah.
And I would tell people, like, yeah, I was talking about something that I never talk about. Well, fuck, a Volkswagen or something, whatever. Yeah. And now I'm getting ads for the fucking Volkswagen Golf.
The Google feed, man.
Yeah.
Right in the front.
Yeah. And you're fucking crazy. You're paranoid. You're
you're
a conspiracy theorist.
Oh, I'm thinking about getting pizza tonight.
Yeah.
Fucking throw recipes at me.
Yeah.
And they made it so that, like, your battery wasn't replaceable.
Yep.
In some of them, so that people wouldn't take it out, so that it could just continually give data.
Yeah, because even when it's off, there's still a charge in there even when it's off. There's still a little capacitor in there. Okay.
Yeah, man.
So
TikTok, like, they're fucking really bad with that shit.
That's communist China.
Yeah.
That's communist China. So when you're up there shaking your tits on TikTok, it's fucking communist China scraping your data.
Yeah, dude. That's fucking wild. And it's all there, too, in print.
But the bigger problem is that most people don't care.
Right.
They don't care.
Right.
Because they don't think it affects them.
They're complacent.
Yeah, or they go, oh, well, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not saying anything wrong. So, why should I be concerned? You're not saying or doing anything wrong right now.
Yeah.
But how many fucking people are getting sent up the river now for shit that they said 20 years ago when it wasn't really a big deal to say that stuff?
Yeah.
All
the time.
Fucking shit changes. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's fucking every communist country. Mm-hmm. They go back and they go, oh, hey, yeah, you remember that time that you fucking gave a speech on the fucking virtues of capitalism? Come with us.
Yeah.
We've got a fucking slot in school for you.
Dude, that's fucking frightening, man. That's frightening.
So.
It's frightening where it's going. I'm not literally scared.
I said we weren't going to talk politics tonight.
We're going to warm them up.
Well, you know what, dude? We're in a certain time right now where I hear all the time I hear from people, like, fuck politics, I'm sick of it, I don't want to hear it anymore.
I'm burned out. I'm burned out on it.
I hear that. I hear you. But when it comes to being, like, burned out on this shit, it's like, they want you to be.
Yeah.
They bombard you with all this shit.
Yes.
And they want you to be complacent or just give the fuck up.
Well, and that's the other thing about...
I think more people need to talk about
and
this
people
shit.
are dismissing the fact that politics...
Not that we have to.
Politics are literally the reason why you are where you are, where you were born,
well, yeah.
where you were fucking,
Well, yeah, dude, and a lot of what we're talking about right now, it goes all the way back to, like, the Patriot Act. And what the Patriot Act actually, like, all the implications of it that we're living with today.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was, back then after 9/11 and everything, and I was, maybe I was a little more naive. But
we all were back then.
But even then, I was like, Patriot Act does not sound like a good idea. Mm-hmm. It sounds like a little bit of an overreach, Yeah. And, but people, well, if you're not breaking the law, what do you care? Yeah. Because I care. Yeah. And you should too.
You totally should. I think I'm guilty of around that time. I was young, man. I was like younger than 20, but I did come from the viewpoint of like, oh, I don't have anything to hide.
Yeah.
And it was a friend of mine that I hung out with when I lived in Rockland.
Okay.
A place called affectionately known as the Rockland Zoo.
Okay.
A friend of mine who drummed in the woods back then, in like 2004, turned me on to like really questioning that shit, and really showed me a lot of stuff about like the Patriot Act and things that could have spawned the Patriot Act. Consent through like what's that Noam Chomsky book that he wrote years ago? Manufacturing Consent.
Oh yeah.
So like he exposed me to that shit then, and at first I was argumentative about it, But I forced myself to really, listen to what he's saying, give it a chance, and it's been different ever since, man.
Yeah.
I do the Patriot Act. I now vehemently disagree with.
Yeah, it's another problem is that, again, going back to social media, but it's where people live now. Yeah. I hate to keep going back to it, but it's where people live.
Yeah.
My line of work, I'm in different offices.
Sorry, I keep dropping the
That's
cap.
right. I'm in different offices every day, and I have yet to go into any office where, like, I go to work at somebody's computer and Facebook isn't open. It's just where people live. Yeah. And the problem is Facebook, Twitter, all those make it too easy for you to live in an echo chamber.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And that's why people are so, I think, that's why people are so vehemently opposed to even considering an opposing viewpoint, because it's like, no, everybody I know thinks this way.
Yes.
So you must be a fucking kook.
1,000%. Yeah.
And for guys like you and me who kind of reside in the middle.
Yeah.
I
like to think reside with logic.
Yeah.
Not to be a dick to anyone.
I a quote, an Orwell quote from 1984 I use all the time, and I'm going to fucking, because I'm fucking on the spot right now, I'm going to mangle it, but...
Mangle away.
The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final and most essential command. And it's...
I don't think you butchered that at all.
It might have been verbatim, actually. I'm proud of myself. But, and that's the thing, is look at the fucking shit. Biden just went on TV and was talking about this great economic recovery and, fucking yay me, and I did this,
Yeah.
And meanwhile, there's a stock ticker right underneath him showing that the fucking market is down like 1,600 points or something like that.
Yeah.
And they just lie. They just lie to your fucking face. Yeah. But you've got two majority groups of people, right? The people that want to believe what he's saying, and they want to believe what he's saying because they don't want to believe what the other side is saying.
Right.
And vice versa.
Yeah. Oh, right now you're a Trump supporter because you just said that you don't like Biden.
I guess I'm fucking canceled.
That's a whole nother thing, man. I fucking don't like them both, but whatever.
Yeah.
Keep going. I don't mean
No. So it's just, so, and it's the same thing, it's the same thing on the right. Like these fucking guys who, if we're being honest, right? If we're being honest, 90% of the news media is fucking, I'm not even going to say leaning left. It's fully left.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
But you argue with anybody that leans that way. They go, oh, what are you listening to? Faux news. And that's the one they always refer to because it's literally the only major news network that is even ostensibly right-leaning, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's it's controlled opposition.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'll if I'm in a doctor's office or whatever and they happen to have Fox on, I'll watch it, because I'm there. I'm captive audience. And I'm looking at the shit that they say and I'm going, yeah, dude, really? Yeah. You pushing that?
And then people just look at you like, shut up.
Yeah. So there's nothing. There's a void now where, and I could be wrong because I'm thinking back and my memory's not so great, but when I was a kid, I seem to remember the news being much more of just reporting the facts. This happened today. Yeah. And they didn't use inflammatory adjectives. They didn't pass judgment. There was an opinion thing, where, what's his name? Not Mickey Rooney. he was the actor, but the Rooney guy was like
Yeah.
Andy Rooney.
Andy
Like,
Rooney, yeah.
So what's wrong with going to a sub shop and like, and that was the opinion, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of all over the map here, but
No, you're good, man. You raised really good points, dude. Yeah, you're right.
So where do you go to
90%
just
of
get the
media
news?
Does.
Right? Where do
I
you
go
just
to
get the news?
independent people. I like antiwar.com, and I know right away that's biased because it's anti-war. But, dude, honestly, like, the logic behind war is always by deception.
Yeah.
War is always by deceiving the people to get them to come along with it.
Yeah.
Like,
To be okay with it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I remember being a kid with my brother. Chris was in Desert Storm. My parents were glued to the TV every night, you know, and I thought that's what I was seeing was what's really going on, and, you know, but then you find out fucking, I don't know, 12, 15 years later that, like, all the shit that got us there was based on lies, like babies being thrown off incubators. I remember that was, like, a really famous thing back then. There was this, you know, girl on TV living under Saddam Hussein, talking, like, crying and talking about how this baby's being thrown off incubators. And it was.
Why are they throwing them off them? They're not even that tall.
Beats the fuck out of me, but it got a lot of people pissed off.
Yeah.
And a lot of people supporting, like, you know, going in there and fuck, man.
Well, that's it. There's a getting people to support a war. It means.
Immediately, it's like,
well, it's
how about
hold on,
just,
let him finish.
Well, all I was gonna say is for the average person, right? Joe Sixpack, you have to appeal to his moral indignation. They're doing what? That's terrible. That can't stand.
Right.
Well, you know what? There's so many travesties of justice and so many fucked up things going on all over the world that you don't care about because no one's selling it to you.
Yeah.
You know?
They're selling you what they want you to buy.
Right. and sorry, I'll not to step on your foot again, but like...
No, you're good.
What really opened my eyes, you know, I have family in the military, I have friends that are in the military, and... naive me of days gone by figured that they would be fucking rah, 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 USA.
Yeah.
And then when you talk to them and they're like, yeah, this is all bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's kind of it's an epiphany. You know, like, oh, wow, these are the guys that are in it. And they're seeing, you know, and they're there, they're fighting for different reasons.
Yeah.
They're fighting for their buddies, but, you know, they actually do see some of the legit moral catastrophes that are happening over there, and they want to help.
Yeah.
You know, and then some of them are they're just there to get their combat pay, and
yeah, some people just go there to get their shit together.
Yeah.
It sucks that, like, people go there to get their shit together, but at the same time they're like, well, I'll feel good about getting my shit together because I support what's going on, because I understand what's being told. You know, quotations.
And guys out there, getting your shit
Which is
together.
sad
If you're
as
thinking
fuck,
about
man.
fucking doing college and being like a fucking 11 Bravo or something like that, some intense fucking MOS, you're not gonna have time for school. Shatter that thought.
Yeah, go to school.
No. Go to school instead of the. Well, that's the thing. Like,
well, figure out what you want to do, because
yeah.
There's a lot of people going to school that aren't using their degrees.
Yeah, you don't
Think
have to
about
go to
that.
school. I just meant, like, as opposed to, like, going and fighting in a war that is
Read a book.
based on deception.
Well, everything.
So what happens when there's a war and then you see that there's billions and billions of dollars just being poured over there, and your food factories in your own country are just mysteriously lighting on fire, and food's getting more expensive, and everything's getting more
right
expensive.
fucking now.
I feel like this question might have some background to it. Yeah, so here's the thing. I don't give a fuck about Ukraine. I never thought about them before. But now we're sending, again, billions of dollars. How big of a deal was...
I thought of it before back in 2014, and then you learn about it, and it's like, oh, it's a brothel of fucking cesspool of fucking people.
Yeah. Like, corruption, too.
Yeah.
They're
where just, like,
just
shady shit goes down.
Yeah.
And they actually have a Nazi population.
That's what
like, they have a decent amount of Nazis, like,
and there was a coup,
in their fucking...
And there was a coup to make it fucking Democrat.
Yeah.
And... that's what I knew about it before this fucking happened. That they weren't good people. Like,
yeah,
good,
we don't
good
need,
shit was not going on over there.
Yeah, we don't need to involve ourselves with that.
Well, that's the thing, right?
Or Russia, like fucking both.
Let's get the fuck out of the fucking UN.
Yeah.
And NATO and all that
fuck
shit.
Yeah.
And worry about our own.
Fuck
because,
yeah.
You know, like we do have allies, right? Like the UK. If the UK was getting fucked up, would probably go help them out. But it's like. We've been saying this for years.
Didn't some famous idiot over there just die?
What's that?
Some moron over there just died.
The Queen.
Famous. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which, I don't know, maybe Brian May?
I'd be more devastated if Brian
I was looking
May
back
died.
I was looking back at King Charles I and King Charles II. Like, King Charles I was, like, huge, not psychopath, but he was a pretty shitty person.
A lot of them are.
Yeah, man. Like, and now we're on Charles III, and it's like he fucking said that he wanted to when he died, he wanted to be reincarnated as a fucking virus to infect humanity.
I heard that. Is that true?
You
is
can
that
fucking
true?
find that online.
Well, you can find anything online, but is it true? I heard that. I did hear that.
Came out of the man's mouth.
You actually raised a good point, though, but is it true? Because the whole fucking deep fake thing.
Oh, dude, the deep fake thing, man. That fucks with me.
It's scary. It's scary shit. So, again,
their capabilities
not to keep going back to Biden, but since he's the guy fucking, you know...
slamming his hand on a podium with fucking red and black, like, behind him, like a Nazi rally.
Well, yeah, but did you see... And I forget what the speech was, but he was at a podium. I forget what he was talking about. But
he forgets, too.
Well, yeah. And... if you look closely, so the thing that everybody said was he never blinks. The whole time he doesn't blink, and it's true.
Okay.
But if you really look at it,
he's a reptile, Rob.
If you really look at the video though, you can see they are superimposing eyes over his face. Okay. I haven't heard anybody else say that, so I'm almost afraid to bring it up because someone's going to go, no, dude, you're a fucking idiot.
It's just a theory.
And he has to stay.
No, we can talk about this. It's a theory.
He has to stay in one place for it to work, like for the...
Yeah, I mean, his head didn't move much, but the eye. But that's if you watch it, when he moves, you can see the fucking the cropping.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Dude, I was just listening to Jim Brewer's show today, and he was talking about that. Not that same instance with his eyes being cropped in, but he was talking about how he thinks that everything is pre-recorded, just like Hollywood. Like they're making these movies way before we see it.
What about, was it when Biden, they were filming him getting his booster shot or whatever?
Fake. It was fake.
It was a set.
Yeah.
It was a set.
And that was proven.
It wasn't hard to prove.
No.
They took a painting of what was outside the window and put it on the fucking up against his window. So when the camera moved, it didn't move. Yeah. It was like a fucking high school play.
And that doesn't bother anybody.
That's the fucking biggest problem. Because too many people are willing to overlook shit like that if they think it's going to get them what they want in the end.
Yeah.
People don't have the fucking honor to say, hey, you know what, this might get me what I want, but I'm not okay with this. This sets a dangerous precedent. Yeah. Or I'm just not okay with being lied to.
Mm-hmm. So they think it's okay to just work every week of their life until they're 65.
Do I think that's okay?
No, they do. And it's just they keep on going with it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. What do you do? What can you do about the average person?
All I know is the least we can do is what we're doing. Like discussing it, keeping it in people's minds, or at least all fucking one listener of the show. Yeah. But I mean, it grows.
Well, it's the thing. You always get the good feedback. You're always like, I love what you guys are doing. I love what you guys are talking about. People need to talk about that shit. That's like usually the fucking badass reviews.
That's probably the fucking Fed. Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going.
Dude, yeah, we really have been getting like really good feedback about the show. And,
good.
Yeah.
You should.
I don't know, 90% of them are probably Feds.
Well, the episodes that I've seen, The episodes that I've seen are great. So
yeah, we're learning as we grow. It's fun. We're just hanging out talking.
Well, that's it. Yeah, I mean, it's, I actually did some TV production in school.
Ah, right on. What school was that?
Norwell High School.
Norwell Bob.
Yeah, that's right. So, so I was like thinking, all right, so like, are they going to have questions prepared for me and stuff? And then I watched you and Pat and you and Alex. I'm like, all right, so we're just shooting the shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, and then what'll happen is over time, you guys will find your groove.
Maybe.
And it'll probably become a little bit of a formula, but that's okay because every successful show has some kind of a formula.
Yeah, they always develop.
It can't be fucking anarchy every fucking show. So.
Yeah, true. We'll see what happens.
We
do it because we like it and it's fun and it gives us a chance to get out of the house and see each other.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you're hanging out with like your best friend and just doing shit for fun, why not do something?
When you get paid for it.
Yeah, I know. Like why not?
Domino's Pizza. Order tonight.
More fun. Yeah. I think we do have a paying subscriber right now.
Really?
It's my nephew.
Thanks, nephew.
Thanks, Aiden. We're gonna have him on here too. Actually,
yeah.
He's a musician and he's in a really cool Beatles cover band. Well, no, they cover like everything. He's a super talented kid.
Awesome.
Yeah. Shout out to my nephew Aiden.
Let's go back to music then. Let's get off politics.
What about the industry?
The music industry?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was
that's
way...
We are so detached.
That's kind of like politics, right?
Yeah.
It was way different when we were
sure it'll go back there.
It was way different when we were growing up.
Absolutely.
It was purely stardom. Like, you know what I mean? Local bands were like... You hear about them now, and they're, like, bigger than before. Like,
yeah. Well, yeah, no, you're right. Like,
and then now... it went from CDs... when we were growing up, and then it went to MP3s, and then it went to streaming revenue.
So, and I was actually thinking about that the other day. I remember this is what, early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, when Napster was first a thing.
Yeah.
And I used Napster a little bit, but not really for music, because I'm very old school. I want a record. I want an album. Because that album has a flow, right?
Absolutely.
And so I literally, I can say this with 100% complete honesty, I have never, ever, ever bought a single song.
Dude, well, and you get the artwork with it.
Right. I buy albums or nothing.
Yeah.
And even if I buy them streaming, like I'll buy the whole album and probably never listen to it again, but whatever. Yeah. It's like I buy the album. But Napster, I remember when Lars Ulrich and
James Hetfield.
Yeah. I remember somebody put together a fucking video where, like, James Hetfield was this big hulking thing, and Lars was like this little. I think he was supposed to be like the little guy.
Gollum.
Like Gollum, or who was the guy? Was it Bib Fortuna? No, who's the guy in Return of the Jedi? Jabba's little.
Little monster dude, the Muppet.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
So I think it's supposed to be like that, and and it was like really. It was really, it was funny, and it was really insulting. It made Lars look like a little,
prick,
yeah. So, but...
I backed him during that whole thing.
He's right.
He was.
He was right.
He totally was.
I'm
not saying that to, be like, oh, look at me, but...
No, but he was right. And I laughed at him, too. I thought he was a fucking dickhead.
No, I backed him.
Oh, you...
I was worried about... I was a young kid, but I was, writing music and playing guitar.
Yeah.
And I literally started thinking, down the road, what if I can't sell this stuff? What if nobody I love buys this?
Right.
It actually bothered me.
Yeah, and that's where we're at.
Yeah.
We put our EP out, 2-song EP. We put it out.
And now I sell nothing, just for the record.
Yeah, and we put it out at least a year ago, right? And we've made $5 on it.
Yeah.
And today, actually, just for shits and giggles, I used DistroKid. I went to the excruciating detail, and it's a long list of streams, but you're getting
dick
0.002 of a cent.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, how does any local band fucking...
right now they use it you got to grind and put the work in and play the shows and sell the merch. Sure, fair enough. That's always been a thing. But they're trying to pass a bill right now because it is the fucking balance, the scale is just, you know,
it's
streaming service companies up here, the band's down here.
The band's at like 10%, I think.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
And they're fighting for fucking 14.
I know.
Why was why was the bar set so fucking low?
Well, I think it was like 6 years ago. Don't hold me to that. But there is a bill that people have been trying to push into Congress. I signed off on it on the internet. I don't know. You know, it went around.
You're on the internet?
Yeah. No, I forget I forget the name of the dude that like created the bill, but like there was a time where you could sign and they were trying to push it into Congress. It was called the Fair Play for Fair Pay Act.
Okay.
And I have not heard anything about it, but it is everything anybody at this table would want it to be. And it's gone. I don't know.
Yeah,
because when they shut the grid down on us, what are you going to listen to then?
I'm gonna fucking play acoustic guitar.
I was just gonna fucking stole my thunder.
Well, you got a generator. You can.
I do have a generator.
You can listen to your fucking records.
But the generator's gas fed, so they'll shut that off too.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to go old school. I'm gonna have to take a fucking piece of construction paper and make a cone and put a sewing needle on it. You ever do this? Ever as a kid?
No.
You spin the record and you can make a fucking gramophone.
Nice.
Oh, really? I guess that makes sense. No shit.
It's not very loud.
That's pretty
bad. You can't
though.
use it at parties, but.
So you got to go back and build your own kind of analog thing.
Yeah. Steampunk, baby.
Yeah.
Steampunk.
Dude, we'll just fucking go back to that technology.
Yeah, we're probably heading there.
You think so?
Honestly, no, but like.
You think there'll be some big fucking thing in our lifetime?
Yes.
Not that we haven't already had a big fucking thing, but if you think about it on a grand scale, like the world is a stage, and like, you know what I mean?
Well, look at COVID.
The whole world went on board with that, though.
Yeah.
That was worldwide.
And here's the thing: is this actually? It's a great example of how media separates people. So I was reluctant to get the vaccine because they just fucking made it, and it's they've been using fucking they actually haven't been using that. They haven't actually ever used it. RNA. They haven't used that in any vaccine yet. This is the first one, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, well, I would rather sit it out and wait and see how things go. But, well, if you want to have a job and if you want to be able to get on an airplane or fucking go anywhere, do anything, you need to get the shot.
You're talking chronologically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is, back then and now, if you are reluctant to get the vaccine because you're still like, you're labeled an anti-vaxxer, right? They paint with a broad brush, anti-vaxxer.
Yep.
Well, no, because I got my fucking,
all the essentials.
I got all the other ones, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys. I've had COVID at least once.
I had it.
And it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. I had a brutal fever, but I wasn't worried about it.
Yeah.
And it went away with like 2 days.
But to say that, now you got people going, oh, so you say it's not real? You think No, it's totally real.
It's totally
real.
Yeah. No one talks about the nuances. Like
bingo. You actually used the perfect word.
Okay.
There is no nuance,
dude,
in anybody's thinking anymore.
Toast to nuance. Let's get into that.
Nobody thinks with any sort of nuance or degrees of. Everything's black and white.
Yes. And when has the world ever been black and white, other than on TV?
Right. Yeah. TV is about it.
It's a fucking
Mayberry.
crazy thing,
Mayberry RFD.
Yeah, that's a wild thing, man. Like, I don't know. You said it, man. You could be against the mRNA vaccine or Johnson & Johnson or whatever, and then people call you an anti-vaxxer.
And it's not even against it. Go get it.
Yeah, go get it.
Get it.
You need
I don't
it,
give a shit.
Well, yeah.
Go get it. But I'm not comfortable putting And I did it. I got the 2 shots, and thank God, knock on wood, I haven't had any of the major side effects that I'm hearing about.
Yeah.
And
that's starting to come out now.
And and the funny thing is, right? All of the shit, not all the shit, but a lot of the shit that people were saying in the early days, the deniers, as they were labeled, a lot of that stuff's coming to light as being it was true.
Yeah.
And I get it because
even from the inventor of one of the inventors of the mRNA vaccine.
He's been saying from the get go.
Yeah.
And what do they do to him? They raked him over the coals and they said, this guy's a lunatic and don't listen to him. And he wasn't even that involved and everything else. And they shut him down.
Well, then you look at the people we're listening to say that too, like Fauci, who is involved like in the AIDS epidemic and all that shit, and fucking like
he enriched himself on that too.
That's what I'm saying.
That one, but then you have like Bill Gates too, though. Like, why are we letting this fucking
look at history,
like guy who has nothing to do with the medical field?
Well, not only that. Well,
the biggest fucking criminals in history. Look it up. They paid the biggest criminal fine in history. Gets fucking diplomatic. They have and then they get immunity from any fucking damages.
Lawsuits. They have the most lawsuits against them, not just for one thing, for multiple things.
Who are you talking about? Pfizer?
Yeah.
Pfizer has the largest fine imposed against it in history.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay? And then Moderna has been around since, I think, the 80s, has literally never had one successful product until their vaccine.
And you would be called nuts if you said that like last year.
We'd be called nuts if we went out there and said it today.
That's true.
Because so many people
are ignorant.
They're ignorant, or they're so invested in not having been wrong.
Yes, dude, that is a giant fucking problem.
Because they've fucked their life up voluntarily. For 2 years, hiding. And again, I'm not saying that the virus wasn't real. I'm not saying that the virus isn't real. I'm not saying that the virus did not or does not have the potential.
The fact that you even have to say
to
that.
kill people.
Like, yes.
Right. That should be something that's just understood.
Yeah.
And it's not.
It's a fact. Like, it's a fucking fact.
And I said from day one, well, maybe not day one, but early on, I would have arguments with people about it when they were saying, oh, well, the death rate is this and blah blah blah, and I would say, well, wait a minute,
dude, it's been out for like.
but how could that even be true? Because they told us from day one, oh, well, you might have it and not even know you have it.
Yeah.
All right. So
Isn't
then
convenient.
then that fucks with the numbers, right? Mm-hmm. Because if you have it and you don't know you have it, you're not going to report as having it. So that skews the numbers of, oh, well, fucking 90% of people that get it die immediately. And that was the kind of shit that they were pushing.
Yep.
And they would show the videos of, do you remember the video of the guy in China just standing there and then fucking, boom, fucking sailor's nosedive?
No, but I remember another video that I got early on that was taken off of YouTube in China of a girl screaming into like her fucking camera being like, whatever's going on right now, like, don't fucking believe it, like, they're coming, they took my brother, they took my mother.
Wasn't she a doctor or a scientist or something like that?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
And they disappeared her.
Yeah, she's gone.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah, they disappeared her.
Dude, so there was another video like that you saw, that guy just face.
Yeah, it was early on. They didn't make a big, they played it a few times as fucking
fear porn.
Yeah, it was just I forget why they were even standing in line, but the guy was just standing there, and I believe he was even in a full hazmat suit or whatever, and he was just standing there, and then knees didn't even buckle, just like a fucking tree.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Yeah. And and then they started welding people into their fucking apartment buildings.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God, dude! To not look back on everything that has happened right now, and to all be in an agreement that we have been fucking lied to, to not look at it like that is just being ignorant or not wanting to be wrong, like you said. You see, like, all the virtue signaling has, like, gone way the fuck up in the last couple of years.
And
people
again,
like, I got my COVID-19 vaccine around their profile picture on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, you stay home, save a life.
Yeah. Who gives a shit?
What the fuck?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You stay at home.
Nothing was even proved at that point.
Right. No, and it's the same thing with
intentions are good,
and I think it's the same thing with Ukraine.
I do too.
All these fucking people with the yellow and blue flags. And,
man.
All right, I'll tell you what.
Go to Ukraine then. Go there and help them.
How about
fucking
this?
Help them.
Let's start here. Mm-hmm. Here's a map of the world with no fucking names on it. Point out Ukraine.
Yeah, they won't.
Right. Tell me what the Ukraine's fucking GDP is.
Yeah.
What is their major export? What do you know about Ukraine?
Right.
You know? Now, does it suck that the fucking, again...
innocent people get hurt and are dying?
Yeah.
Terrible.
Of course it sucks.
Fucking horrible.
And it also sucks for the fucking Russian soldiers that were sent over there under false pretense.
Yeah.
And are getting killed.
Yep. And their
Guess what?
And their families.
You know, fucking... I remember Clint Eastwood put out a couple of movies in the early aughts.
Man.
I think please do. Save me from myself. He put out Flags of Our Fathers and Sands of Iwo Jima.
That was too much, but sure.
Keep going. And, you know, Flags of Our Fathers was the American side.
Yeah.
And Sands of Iwo Jima was the Japanese side.
Mm.
And there wasn't a lot of backlash, but I'm sure there was some backlash, like, hey, those guys are the enemy. Why are you humanizing them? Because they were humans.
They're human. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like, the Japanese, the Imperial Army of World War II was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Because they, and I can't speak to the man, but as a whole, they felt like they were fighting for their god. Their emperor was their god, and they were doing God's will. And that's why they were willing to fly a fucking plane loaded with dynamite into the side of a fucking ship.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and it was just a different mindset. But you know what? Those guys still had a fucking picture of their wife in their wallet.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And, I don't know.
It's brutal.
I went off too far of a tangent. I don't remember what I was talking about.
No, not at all, dude. No, not at all.
Do you think
it's an atrocity, man, and that's why, like, I go on the website Anti-War a lot because I have independent journalists who are on the ground and they're everywhere.
I've never heard of that site, so I'll check it out.
Dude, one of the best writers I have ever had the privilege of fucking reading was Justin Armando.
Okay.
Armando. I could be butchering that. I don't know. It's but he was a gay journalist who was very, like, you know, open about everything, and just, not that it matters, but, like, he just was. That was a part of who he was.
Sure.
And he was so honest, and he was not biased or beholden to any party. He only said the truth. And, like, when I heard he passed away, I cried. I had been reading his stuff for years. Yeah. Yeah, he was a brilliant man.
I have to check it out. Yeah, no, and that's, I've never heard of and that's the thing. It's
antiwar.com, man.
Okay. Yeah. A buddy of mine, a good buddy, I say kid, he's fucking my age, but guy I've been friends with for fucking 30 years. You know, he leans left, and he's a guy that you can count on to just repost the fucking meme of the day. Yeah. Whether it's, you know, anti-Trump or pro, you know, student loan whatever it is. Yeah. He throws it out there. And so there have been times that he and I would disagree on a topic, and I finally said to him, let's just not do this anymore, because my friendship with you is more important than either of us proving that we're right. So now we just talk about music and shit. But
good. That's good.
Yeah.
That ends horribly sometimes.
But, you know, he, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but he was sending me, and it irritated me. I hope he never watches this. I'm not going to say his name, but it irritated me because he was sending me all these fucking articles about something that were, and the articles are very obviously skewed and biased, but he's sending them to me like, almost like as a challenge. And it's like, dude, I don't even give a fuck about this. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to go do a little digging. I'm going to do some research. And I found a bunch of shit that refuted the stuff that he said, and And it came up that,
of course.
I probably look like a fucking liar because I can't remember exactly what it was, but I can't remember exactly what it was. But I sent him a bunch of shit. I'm like, dude, read this.
Yeah.
And he did. And he goes, oh, geez, I guess I didn't realize. I said, look, man.
Wow.
Question every fucking thing that you read.
Yeah.
Because you're being lied to all the fucking time by everybody.
By all of the organizations.
And he goes...
Fox, CNN, both of them.
Exactly. And he goes, well, so who am I supposed to... Nobody. You're supposed to trust nobody.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah. Use your fucking mind. So,
Trust your civilian friends who will love you and aren't trying to fight with you.
And
they're looking out for you.
I'm a guy I'd like to think of at least average intelligence. Yeah. And I don't have the time to research everything. Who does? I got a fucking job. I got a fucking family. I got a band. I got stuff going on.
Yeah.
And as much as I don't want it to consume me, it kind of does a little bit because you're immersed in it.
Yeah.
You can't escape it, right? You can't go online without some fucking news organization throwing a fucking article at you or whatever. But, he's like, how do I, so what do I read? How do I know it's the truth?
That's pretty cool that he was asking.
Yeah. I think it was I was just challenging me again.
I got you.
But it was like, dude, nobody. Trust nobody. Like, you look at it, you read it, but then you use your critical thinking skills to go, that doesn't quite add up with what I have experienced in life.
Yeah.
But this is a very cyclical conversation.
It's a very polarizing time, and yes,
it is
cyclical. Yes.
It is, and and I'm not looking to. I don't look down on anybody for their views, really.
Yeah.
What about flat earthers?
The flat earthers, I might look down on a little bit.
Oh, shit.
Come on, you know what? The flat earthers.
I think that's I think that's a psyop.
No, it's people who know better.
Yeah.
It's the dudes who go, I don't know, man. I just didn't think Seinfeld was that good. Like,
oh, fuck you, I love Seinfeld.
Exactly. It's like...
Fuck you both. Seinfeld sucks.
Oh, you flat earther. Yeah, of all people to ask us what we think about flat earthers.
Nah, we're crater earth.
You Seinfeld hater.
No, but it's like...
I love Larry David. I just love Larry David.
The guy's funny.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Even that's just a bunch of fucking whining.
Curb Your Enthusiasm?
It's all fucking whining.
It's a fucking riot.
It's fucking bitching.
It is.
What are you doing?
Yeah, you're bitching about bitching.
That's a Seinfeld episode right now. What's with all this bitching?
Gilbert Gottfried did that the best. R.I.P. Gilbert.
Yeah, R.I.P.
He was
Gilbert Gottfried, man.
Gilbert Gottfried. So, have you guys ever listened to his podcast?
No. I wish I did.
It's still on there. So go back and listen to it. Okay. I forget what episode it was.
He was an interesting guy, man.
So he had an encyclopedic knowledge.
No shit.
Of old Hollywood and
I've heard him. Yeah, I've heard him in different interviews go into that.
Not burlesque. What's the fucking the old fucking state vaudeville?
Vaudeville,
he had encyclopedic knowledge of that stuff, and so he would throw out, and that's what I loved about him. He would throw out references that nobody would get, and I would look him up later and be like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, man!"
Brilliant.
That's pretty cool.
He had the fucking funniest line. He had a guy on his podcast, and the guy was talking about how his grandfather was one of the founders of the Friars Club, and his father did this, and he did that, and like all these huge like accomplishments in the world of like comedy. And then when there's a lull, Gilbert breaks and he goes, I once had an advertisement in which I acted as a duck selling insurance, and then left it there. And you were waiting for the fucking punchline, but that was it.
That's it.
And that was the fucking punchline, and it was. And
it's awesome.
I'm sure I mangled that too, but the way he fucking did it was so perfect.
He was brilliant.
It was razor sharp, man. It just fucking. Yeah, that was a loss.
Shark like Iago's
Dude, and that was
beak.
very downplayed. Like, not many people. You just didn't hear much about it. Like
Right.
you heard he died.
Yeah.
And nobody talked about it.
Well, he got canceled back. He was doing the Aflac commercials, and it was.
So that actually was him.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
was.
It always reminded me of him. Yeah.
And then
Perfect.
yeah, Aflac. And then he made a joke on Twitter. It was here's the thing. People aren't willing to admit it anymore, but comedy is at its core mean.
Sure.
To be really funny, right? I mean, and even just as like three buddies here hanging out,
yeah,
we're gonna bust each other's butt. We're gonna be mean to each other.
Fuck yeah.
But we understand the spirit of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And all comedy, really
jokes,
really funny comedy, is like it's nasty and it's verboten.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to go, ooh, you said that, you know.
It's usually truth written.
Exactly.
It's
you know.
offensive.
That's why
it's fucking offensive.
Yeah. A fucking guy gets well, my kids today, they fucking made a bowl of Cheerios and they had the spoon upside down. No one's laughing at that shit, you know.
That woke comedy.
Yeah. So, anyways, he was doing his Aflac commercials at the times, and it was after a tsunami somewhere. I forget. One of the big
Katrina or something.
No. Like another, like Indonesia or something like that. It was a major event.
Gotcha.
And he posted like, I lost my girlfriend in, like, my girlfriend died wherever this was, but that's okay. Another one will come floating by any minute. And brutal. And that got him canceled.
Did it really?
Yeah. And that was a while ago. Yeah. So he just kind of was treading water since then. But
dude, that whole fucking R.I.P. Gilbert Gottfried. Fuck, man. That whole the cancel culture thing is unbelievable.
I think it's finally starting to slow down because the people who
they're realizing that they're retarded.
Well,
because Hollywood is losing money.
I'm terrible.
Hollywood must be losing money, unless I don't know, because they're just throwing away entire Warner Brothers productions.
Oh, they're definitely losing money, man.
Yeah.
That place is
throwing
probably
away
leaking
back.
But it's not just
fucking sieve right now.
But they're also learning that they're not immune to it. The people who were the biggest proponents for cancel culture because they felt like it was, cleaning up all these opposing viewpoints. Well, then all of a sudden it's like, well, hey, you looked at that chick's ass one time, and then now this dude's getting fucking run up the river, But
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
What are we gonna cancel each other for being fucking human?
For being awesome.
Yeah, for being awesome. and beautiful.
Yeah,
scary.
Beautiful. No, stop right
scary,
there. Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true, man.
I wonder how, Gilbert Gottfried's stories of his time with, being close to Disney.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if he saw some shady shit, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Must have.
I don't want to be here.
Dude, I don't want to live in a world...
I don't want to watch Mustafa fuck Aladdin.
Dude, I don't want to live in a world where we can't make fun of each other's races, creeds, genders, and fucking personal pronouns, because it's making fun.
Right. It depends on.
I'm not saying I don't want to live in a world that doesn't. I know racism sucks. Any kind of phobia.
It depends on the intent.
Yeah, exactly.
And
if the intent is to make you laugh.
When we as a society lost the capacity for nuance.
Yeah.
We also lost that capacity for understanding context and intent.
Yeah. We're beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's fucking shit on it. Who doesn't like shitting on beautiful things, man? Because it's to laugh at.
Yeah, it's just, you make a joke about something horrible.
Yeah.
And that makes it easier to process.
Absolutely.
Right? You talk to fucking nurses, cops, doctors, they have a gallows humor.
Yes.
They might not trot it out in mixed company, because those people may or may not get it.
Yeah.
But it's they see horrible shit, so they make fucking jokes about it. You know, and even and us as civil, well, you're ex-military, but like as civilians, like not doctors, not cops, we see horrible shit too.
Yeah.
And so you lampoon it. Yeah. You make fun of, if you make an off-color joke, you're not really making that joke at the expense of the target. You're making the joke at the expense of the person, theoretical person, who actually believes the joke that you're making.
Well put. Yeah.
But thank you. But we've lost, again, as a society. I still have it, but we've lost as a society the ability to recognize that. Yeah. And I don't know how much of it's that we as a society have lost it, or there's just a vocal enough minority who wants to shout it down that makes everybody else afraid. Dude, I'm afraid.
I'm so glad you said minority, though.
I'm so afraid when this goes out, people are going to fucking.
Yeah. Oh, some people will.
Fuck the rocket gods.
Some people will.
Their singer's horrible.
Yeah.
I am horrible. But people are afraid. People are afraid of their jobs.
Yeah.
People are afraid, I mean, again, right? The whole, man, I'm just going to keep digging my hole deeper and deeper, aren't I? So, like...
I got a shovel. I'll get you out, man.
But, like sexual harassment, right? In the workplace. Sexual harassment in the workplace...
It's a real thing.
Is a real thing, and it's not good. And I got to tell you something. I was actually the victim of sexual harassment.
I believe that.
I know. and the way I handled it was I said to her, hey, look, I'm married. I take my vows seriously. Flattered, but it's not my... And you know how she reacted? She went to HR. Because I rebuffed her.
Yeah.
And so I went into HR right afterwards and said, hey, Jack, here's the fucking story. Here's exactly what happened. And nothing came of it, but, and that's fine. Like, she grabbed my ass and, so and it's like, all right, hey, I'm flattered, but it's not my thing. I'm married and, and she kind of didn't let go of it at first. And so.
Fucking narcissist, dude.
She was petty about it.
What's that?
She was petty.
Well, the fact that she went to HR. Now, that may have been a prophylactic, like, I'm going to go deal with this before, he throws me under the bus.
She probably has daddy issues.
It was never, oh, dude, this fucking chick. Daddy issues are at the bottom of the list. But, like, I wasn't going to say anything to HR because there was no need for it.
Yeah.
But, but so anyway, that was
who cares, right? Yeah.
That was me just qualifying my opinion on this. So yes, like true.
That's a testament of how fucking cool you are.
Thank you. But like true sexual harassment, hey tits, come on in here and take some dictation, or you want that promote? Of course, it's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Yeah.
If you go to work and somebody that you work with, she looks nice. Oh, hey, that looks nice today. That's not sexual harassment, dude. Come on, cut the shit.
Right.
You're giving another human being a compliment.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if you say, "Hey, your legs look fucking great in that skirt," okay, well, that
take
might
your
be,
underwear off.
Yeah, that may be a bridge too far.
Yeah.
But like just an honest, even a fucking pat on the shoulder, like, "Oh, hey, good job." That's not sexual harassment. Come on, can we stop?
Totally.
Can we stop?
Totally.
Well,
yeah, that was like the whole Me Too movement, like fucking exploded, and it was like believe all women. Yeah. It's like, no, I know some girls you should not believe.
Absolutely.
Believe it or not.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They're human. They're human. We're all human.
We're all human. And guess what? There's bad dudes out there. There's bad girls out there too.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. There are girls out there who had bad upbringing, whatever the case, and they're just not socialized right, and they will gladly fuck up your life.
Absolutely.
Just like there's guys that are like that. Yep. It's same.
Yep.
There's nobody's immune.
Yeah.
So.
1000%, man. I had an ex-fiance that was a fucking asshole who fucked with me in so many different ways. She was a gaslighter, like 1000% used to gaslight me all the time. And just like she before I dated her, she was really into our band, And whatever, I didn't just like hook up with girls because they like my band. It's whatever. Like
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, no, there really isn't. If it's agreed upon on both sides, no, it isn't, and that happened. Yeah. But her and I had a connection. And we did that. But the minute we were together, she like didn't want me to go on tour. She didn't want me to play shows. And she didn't want this and want that. And she would fucking gaslight the fuck out of me. Yeah. Like go and do things that she would tell me not, you shouldn't do that or whatever. I just tried to avoid conflict at the time. It's like, well,
because it's easier.
I'm not going to do the things you accuse me, or I'm not going to do the things you think I want to do.
And let me ask you this.
Sure.
Did you find out later that all the shit that she was accusing you
of
she
course.
was doing?
Yeah.
I had one of those.
Yeah.
I had one too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you did too.
Yeah.
Is it?
No,
I'm not going to name names. Probably who I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I
so you think they're going to go to the moon on September 27th finally with the launching of the Artemis 1?
I don't know. They're going to gaslight the fuck out of you, though. No matter what, they're going to tell you they did, and they fucking did all sorts of shit.
They're gaslighting everybody saying we went to the moon. We fucking didn't.
I don't...
Yeah. Wow. Now we're going down this rabbit hole.
Can we just talk about horrible toxic relationships?
Yeah, that's more fun.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I was once with a woman.
And that's it. That's it. There's nothing else.
I don't want to watch Mustafa fuck Aladdin. Is forever cemented. Like it's a bumper sticker rent free on my fucking brain right now.
Yeah, man.
Why does Ariel smell like fish?
Damn.
Areola.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of...
Everybody's trying to cancel Dark Ariel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why would they cancel
Like,
her?
in Asia, they are whitewashing that movie and making her...
The current production?
Yes. What? Making it fucking white over in Asia.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Have you guys ever seen... There's a commercial.
That's wild.
I think it's... I don't know if it's Chinese.
It could be propaganda.
Dude, Ariel's going to be hot no matter what color she is.
Yeah, it looks dope no matter what. You don't...
Yeah.
The movie
I don't want no pig mermaids on my screen.
Yeah, the movie looks fine. I don't care. Release it. They release everything else. Yeah. Fuck it.
It's you know what? It's a non-issue that I think maybe Disney wants to make an issue.
Yeah.
Like so.
Oh, dude, they totally throw agendas. Like, fuck.
So I haven't watched episode 1.
They're woke as fuck.
I haven't watched anything, but all of the brouhaha around the new Lord of the Rings series.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
I haven't watched it either, but there is some controversy, or as the Brits would say, controversy about.
I like that.
About. The races.
They're dead cunt of a queen.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
But about the races of the various characters in this new Lord of the Rings thing, but that's not. I'm not even sure that that's really what the controversy is about. From what I'm hearing, the show just sucks. The writing just sucks.
Probably.
But there are a contingent of Tolkien, fans going. Yeah, but that's not how it was in the story. Like that's not, Again, I'm not a Tolkien.
Call it fucking loosely related and move on.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Wheel of Time. I don't know if you guys watched that. I read the first Wheel of Time book. I enjoyed it. My wife and I started watching the series, and it's like, okay, so they mixed up a bunch of races, which wouldn't be an issue except for in the book. The fucking one of the themes of the book is these fucking very homogenous kids that grew up together, and they embark on this adventure unwitting, like any hero's journey. Yeah. They were cast into this, and And as they travel around, they meet different kinds of peoples, different cultures, different races, and learn about them.
Cool.
I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
So why cut that out for the sake of forced diversity from day? And then the other thing that they did was
interesting
in the books.
Why would they cut that out?
Because, and in the books they were like, I think I haven't read the book in a long time, but I think they were like barely teenagers, right? And one of the themes was this boy likes this girl, but she's kind of doing her thing, and he doesn't know how to make her notice him and all. In the show, they're in their 20s and they're all just fucking. And it's like it just changes the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but you're not allowed to say, I don't like this.
Right.
I don't like this. I don't like that they're changing these characters for no fucking reason.
Yeah, why don't you just write a different story?
Write a different story. Right. Again, do we need a female James Bond? No. I'm sorry, we don't. Call me sexist. We don't need a female James. We have James Bond. The fucking books were written from either the 50s or the 60s.
Yeah. Well, then write a new series about someone different who's a female.
Exactly.
And put some imagination in
what
there.
Is it really just that you want to attach the property name so that you have a? But here's the thing.
Of course.
People. But here's the thing. People who are invested in the lore in a fucking series, they're not going to watch it. They're going to go, fuck that.
Good point.
So just make a new story.
Do they even care about them though?
No. But my point is, why?
No, I'm with you.
What is this? I feel like there's a need nowadays to tear down established
book burning, man. It's like
kinda
book burning with extra steps.
Kinda. I mean, it's not book burning because they're not trying to censor it, but like, it's these I can't think of the fucking word, man. It's driving me crazy. But these like established entities,
concepts or entities,
and they just want to like tear them down.
Yeah.
They just want to tear them down.
Yeah, try to label them as like sexist or fucking whatever.
But not just that. They want to destroy them and flip them.
Yeah.
Why?
Right.
Why?
Just create something else that was great.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Rather than do that, you come up with the story and beat it.
Right.
Do better.
Exactly.
I can do it better.
Isn't that what it's all about in this country?
I'll do I will do a way better Jane Bond.
Well, dude, that's even the idea of like capitalism. Like, fucking do it better.
Yeah.
If someone has a bad idea, put out a good idea.
Yeah.
If the only like people fucking like to spew hate speech, well, spew fucking like good speech.
Love speech.
Like,
man.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not necessarily going hippie or anything, I'm not like Abby Hoffman walking down fucking Shrewsbury Street in Worcester, but whatever. You know that guy was from Worcester?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Abby Hoffman's from Worcester. They have an Abby Hoffman parade every year. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like why tear down? Why tear down?
Great concepts.
Yeah, man.
That's not the word, huh?
It's not the word. I'm not going to be able to let it go tonight.
No.
Middle of the night,
we'll
I'm going to wake up and I'm going to scream the word. But like,
why tear down a great?
It's not. It doesn't even have to be great. It's an established motherfucker.
And it's
lore.
Established
lore.
Well, lore is not the word I'm looking for.
Concept.
Let's move on.
Okay.
And I'll think of it.
All right.
You'll say something that will trigger the word.
I was trying to hit that ball with you, but no, I'm with you. You'll get it. You'll get it.
I'll
get it then.
I'll call you tonight. Like, Kevin, edit this in. Call Brian. Wake him up.
We don't edit, so we'll just start the next episode with whatever that word is.
We would just like to circle back to our episode with Rob Carroll. The word that he was looking for was
exactly. Exactly.
No word for our sponsors.
Dude,
Stanley Kubrick, did the fucking moon landing thing. Yep.
What?
Stanley Kubrick did the moon landing.
Yeah. Well, I know he did do. He worked.
That would explain the great photography.
Dude,
and the use of popular music over incongruous subject matter.
Dude, there is like who was the name of the guy that put out that documentary? Bart Sabrell.
Yeah.
He put out a documentary called like A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon.
Yes, sir.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And he's not the only one to really touch down on really good points, but he probably has the most known documentary. And there are people out there that claim that he's been debunked, and they debunk him. But if you watch it, man, it's like anything. Like, you can pull away some really good questions that he asks in the documentary. There's some other stuff you might be able to be like, yeah, there was this instead of that.
So there's
one of the questions, though, real quick, one of the questions was, who the fuck, if like Neil Armstrong and give me some other names. The guys,
Buzz Aldrin.
Buzz Aldrich, yeah.
The
first
dude out.
Yeah, he punched him.
Oh, is that the guy?
Yes. Because he asked him to swear on the Bible that he was telling the truth.
He was kind of a dick.
What the Oh yeah, no, he's a wicked cocky prick.
Did you see the video?
Yes, yes, and he was like.
I'm not gonna lie, I was cheering for Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah, no, it was a riot, and he was hounding him, and he was like swearing the Bible that you didn't.
That you
landed on the moon.
Nothing better than watching a septuagenarian.
Dude, but no,
fucking
like
cold cock.
Oh, it was a riot.
Guy.
It was a riot, and especially because he was so smug about it. Like,
and that's one thing I hate is smugness.
There is, me too.
I mean, except for when I'm smug, I think it's pretty rad. But
there was a lot of interesting points in that documentary that he made, though.
All right, I'll check that out.
Yeah,
dude, I can't.
He's not the only one either, but like,
I can't get cell phone service in fucking Pembroke, and these motherfuckers can talk back and forth on phones.
Yeah, dude, right.
I mean, dude, what about who took the picture of the craft landing on the moon? If they're the first people to land on the moon, who the fuck took the picture of the craft?
Camera on a boom.
You think so?
That's what they say.
Okay, so they have
camera on a boom. But
I don't believe it though.
So
I might believe it.
So here's the thing: they put a fucking flag up, right?
Yeah.
So
and it's waving.
We've got telescopes.
Yeah.
That can read the serial number.
You can't see it
off a mosquito's dick.
Yeah.
From a continent away.
Yeah.
So we should be able to look at the moon and see if the fucking flag is out.
Sure.
We just got a nasty moon detail shot like maybe a month ago. It was like the most like detailed shot. It was like a whitish, reddish looking, hueish moon. You might have seen it on the internet like last month, but it was like really sick. You can zoom in on it and everything, get it like down to like, you know, every tiny little crater.
Well, can I address something that I brought up a couple episodes ago? I said that there has been no real picture of the moon and that it's all digital composites. I meant the Earth. There is actually no real pictures of the Earth from space that aren't photoshopped in NASA.
Really?
NASA talks about that, and they're like,
shit.
They interview, because NASA has a ton of artists that work for them. And there was like a press conference that I watched. You can Google it and watch it on YouTube. And he talks about how there are no real pictures of Earth, that it's all digital composites, and we use Photoshop. And he says because we have to.
Deepfake.
How do they use Photoshop in the fucking 60s?
They had a version of it.
Dude,
they had a version.
They probably just literally used exact.
Well, if you think about think about history, it's usually like someone with the technology would have it like typically 20 years before it gets out to the public. You know what I mean? Like if you think about that, it sounds kind of realistic.
That's true.
Even with cell phones.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
my dad had a fucking car phone. In
the
fucking 80s.
Did he?
Yeah.
It's like fucking $3 a minute.
The technology was there. The internet exploded all of a sudden.
Or you ever watch Wall Street? The movie Wall Street? What year did that come out?
Oh man!
And Michael Douglas is there with a fucking satellite phone.
Yep.
Is that early 80s or late 80s?
Mid to late, I think.
86, 87 or something.
And then falling down, dude.
That big giant,
giant
was
brick.
Right around then. Falling Down. Falling Down was a great
movie.
That was right around then at the same time, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
That's a great movie.
Falling Down is all of us. Like,
I think that was 91 or 92.
Yeah, the guy just fucking had enough.
Yeah.
But you know,
Defense.
You know what sucked about that movie is they made him this sympathetic character through the whole fucking movie, and then at the very fucking end, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, he was a piece of shit.
He's a psycho.
Yeah. And they didn't need to do that. They didn't need to go that way.
Yeah, you do. You'll like him during the movie.
You know, it's a movie with Charlie Sheen. Since we're talking about Michael Douglas,
Sick.
There a relation there?
I think there is.
Yeah, there's Dad. No.
I think it
No,
is.
you're
No,
thinking
there's
of
Martin
Martin
Sheen.
Sheen.
Martin
Holy shit.
Sheen.
Who
But-
was also in Wall Street.
No, but there is some kind
There's
of
a connection.
Michael. Yeah, there is a Michael Douglas.
They probably
thing.
fucked.
Maybe not
But-
with Sheen. Yeah, right. Between two trailers, like one of the Corys. Do you ever hear that?
Oh, yeah. Crisco.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You know.
So
we'll go on a quick tangent. We'll fucking bookmark this so we can come back.
we got to go back to the moon. Not tonight, but I do want to talk to you
let's
more
go
about
to
the
the
moon.
moon.
No, in the moon in the
Hey,
future.
No,
we'll do it in the
if you
future.
guys
I
are
got
getting,
enough gas in my
if-
room.
I'm down for Sheen
if
and
you-
trailers and dick.
if you guys, hey, if you guys are getting squirmy, I can call it halftime.
Squirmy.
I got to pee, but I don't have to leave the second. I'm trying to see how long I can hold it.
Well, all right.
Solo cups. Let's see how many of those cups you can fill up.
Do you have anything in your cup?
Not right now.
All right, we're gonna split this into
No, we're sticking around for a minute.
because we have 1 hour of recording time left.
Oh, okay.
All right, well, I just want to toast our friend Rob because I'm super pumped you came in.
Thanks, man. I'm pumped that you had me in.
I love you.
Cheers to you as well.
We'll be back for the second half of the hurricane, ladies and gentlemen.
Shit.
And then it's gonna be more shit talk
Yeah.
with our good buddy. I'm trying to do this as slow as possible because the music's not loaded. And that just killed a little bit of time. But yeah, Rob Carroll.